guys, welcome to another episode of Hotel Room Yap with Michaela. I am in Greenville, South Carolina this weekend, staying at a Hilton Greenville. Woohoo, so fancy. I feel like this ice bucket has not been touched in eons. I believe there is a fine layer of dust on this tray. It's pretty though. Here's some ASMR for all the ASMR folks. Wait for it. You're welcome. Anyway, it is very late Friday or early Saturday morning. I wanted to make this video yesterday, but I was not able to. I flew in yesterday. Today was day one of the convention that I'm at, Anime Town in Greenville. And I guess I want to talk about, I don't even know how to articulate it. There've been so many things running through my brain, but I guess the best way to put it is knowing when your love for someone can't outweigh their lack of giving you what you need. I think that's the best way to put it. Quick insert, yes, I'm wearing a cute Appa shirt that I got from the Avatar in Concert tour. It is very cute. I love Appa. Appa's my favorite character. Hee hee hee. I know. How dare I? Ugh, how dare I cheat on Toph like that? Anyway, dating is tough. Relationships are tough. Friendships are tough. Family is tough. And I believe that statement that, your love could potentially not, it can outweigh the fact that the other person in this relationship can't give you what you need, can apply to lots of things, lots of relationships, lots of dynamics. I think there are many friendships that can be affected by, one person caring more, showing up more, giving more, etc., etc. But today, I would like to focus on the relationship aspect. First of all, you are great. You are great just the way you are and what you need and what you like, what you prefer. And I believe so many of us have been made to feel like what we want and what we need is wrong, or too much, or too different, or too demanding, or not enough, or it's just a lot. And I think, something that might be a good idea for us to do these days is become more okay with truly reflecting, taking a second and being like, what do I really prefer? And I think I've been, a little bit bummed at myself because I've really been ignoring or overlooking a lot of those truths with myself over the years. I felt like I needed to, be more chill or be more reasonable or let things go faster than I wanted them to go, or let things go slower than I wanted them to go. Be okay with accepting, less communication or more communication or different timelines and different goals and different dreams. And while of course compromise is necessary, there's no two people that are just going to magically, well, maybe some of you, and maybe you exist, but most people are not going to arrive at the same exact page at the same exact time. But there's a difference between recognizing somebody's difference, deciding to come together and merge your two worlds and two perspectives, and then just accepting a bunch of stuff you don't like purely to have companionship or not be alone or accept desire or affection. And I think I'm just wondering why it took so long for me to be okay being like, just done, being like, no, God, no, this isn't it. This is not what I'm looking for. Stop. So, it's been a long time. I think it took 10 years, honestly. It took from 19 to 29, 19 to 30, if I'm being honest, to stop forcing myself to be this calm, cool, collected, and I'm okay with any attention you give me or how you want to handle things. Not that I did that in every situation, but I definitely just kept overlooking things that I know I need And who is that helping? That's not helping the other person. That's not helping me. So that's just silly. Why does that happen? Well, because sometimes you like people. Sometimes you even love people. And sometimes love gets in the way. And sometimes love can be categorized as obsession or a trauma tie or lust or desire, like jealousy. I don't know. There could be so many things that love can also be, misinterpreted as potentially. But actual love also exists where that can get in the way of you being honest with yourself. And that is something I, had to come to terms with pretty recently. And it's a bummer. It's a very, very odd mixture of, I guess, like grief and peace, which is a very odd combination. Position switch. Switching the positions for you. Hotel and I'm in the bedroom. I'm realizing I'm going to become a big fan of all these like chairs that just exist in hotel rooms that I usually don't sit in or use. I usually like put a duffel bag or a tote bag or, like my computer or something on. And now we're going to get very comfortable with all the chairs in hotel rooms and their pillows. I wonder how often this is cleaned. Anyway, we're cuddling the pillow for the cozies because that is the mood I am in. Yeah, so recently okay, episode 3. We're just keeping it real from the beginning. We started off strong with episode 1 and we're keeping it real through episode 3 as well. Just gonna keep it real for the whole series probably. I'm tired. But recently I really really, I mean, I still do, clearly, as you are watching. I really love someone, and I think they're so cool. I think they're so wonderful. I think that they have, oh my gosh, there's so many great things about this person. And I think that's also maybe one of my issues is I see a lot of awesome things in people as soon as I meet them. I really think that there are lots of great parts to pretty much any person. So many unique creative strengths and qualities and perspectives and talents, and I just think people are cool. And then when I meet people, I'm learning this about myself, I tend to just automatically assume that they're working towards or growing to become this, like, I don't know, like next awesome version of themselves. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, you're doing this, this, and this. Like, you obviously are working to like level up those things and become like this, this, and this. And, that's not always the case. And that's not like good or bad. It's just, I make these assumptions a lot. And I do that with relationships as well. We're working on it. I just really care about this person, care, whatever. And I just thought they needed time, or maybe I could explain, things better, and then they would get how to care about me, or how to love me, or how to love themselves. That's a big thing too. And it just wasn't working. It felt like everything that they were doing was kind of because I had told them. And yes, again, I know that is part of it. You're learning how to care for your partner, but it felt like nothing was originating out of their own, like, desire, I guess. Emotional availability might be a part of the chat, and it felt like, I don't know, it felt like there was like this wall, and it's been almost a year, and then you're kind of like, okay, what is going on? Like, it's been a year. Hello? What are we doing? Pretty much anyone who I've talked to, who's been in a long-term relationship, marriage, etc., when I ask them, because I love to ask them these days, like, what's your secret? Like, how did you guys know? How did you guys decide that you guys were right for each other? Was there a moment? Was there a feeling? What was the timeline? And all of them knew pretty quickly. I'm not saying like within a day, but within either a couple of, months, sometimes weeks, sometimes like first or second date. They were like, I knew this was going to be my husband or my partner or my wife, whatever. And I think there is something about that ease of like assured, like, oh, this is my partner. But with that comes a comfort with yourself and knowing what you need. So I kind of got to the point where, with this last guy, that I was like, hold on. If you wanted to be my husband, you would know. You would know. And that's okay that I'm not. But like, the fact that you don't know or you're not sure is the answer. If it's not a heck yes, it's a heck no, right? So that was a bummer to feel and recognize, but I also knew for the sake of my own sanity, their own sanity, I had to make a hard choice and be like, hey, if I was gonna be your wife, you'd know, and you'd also let me know, and I would have no question about how you felt, and that you were so madly in love with me and so excited to build a house and build a family and talk about, our future together and plan things for me and want to protect me and take care of things. And that would just be a no-brainer. And I would have no question in my heart or in my mind about how you felt. Yeah. Regardless of how much love I have for this person, I'm not getting what I need, so I have to go. Oh gosh, it's very difficult. Not easy. Do you guys ever feel like you're still in high school? Maybe you are in high school. That's crazy. Feel like you're still in high school, but also like very old. It's very odd. I don't know. I feel like I'm carrying around the same brain and the same perspective as like when I was in middle school, high school, but I'm also light years away from where I was. But also people have kind of talked about this like returning of self a little bit. Like your 20s can be a little crazy, and then, for people who kind of are into the whole astrology thing, I believe they call it like Saturn return around like 28, I think. And it's almost like you do return to like the things that made you happy as a kid. It's like you have to go out and push all the corners and boundaries and be like all the versions of life, and just be like, oh no, I liked what was happening when, I was 13 years old. And not everybody feels the same way about this, but I definitely feel like I've kind of returned to a lot of how my brain thinks or thought, I guess, in middle school and high school, just as far as what I like and what makes me happy, and then what I need in a partner too. Yeah, I don't know. In high school, a lot of people thought I was pretty intense, pretty prude. I don't have like direct sources, but there's plenty of gossip and things. And I had always said like, oh, like I'm dating to marry. Not like get married right then, but like if I don't see myself potentially marrying somebody, like what is the point of me dating them? And a lot of people were like, that's so intense, like you're so young, like you need to date to practice and date to just get experience and date if you get along with somebody and if you're having fun and like blah, 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 and all these things. And I just like could not really wrap my head around that. I was like, but why? I just didn't get it. I don't know. And I'm not saying that I am, and as soon as a first date happens, it's like, if I don't see the future, I don't go on a second date. Like, that's not what we're doing. It's just, if someone is clearly not aligning with your future, why are you spending time on them? What purpose is this going towards? And now, if you don't want to get married, that's fine. If you have a different dynamic of like what you kind of want your relationships to be, what you want your future, that's fine. I personally really would like to, get married. Or I should say, I would like to find a person who I love so much and who wants to build a family with me that we both decide that marriage is a good idea. Let's put it that way. Marriage is just the title for a great, eternal, family-building love. That's freaking phenomenal, okay? That is what I want. And if I'm not feeling that, and I'm not getting it in return, I am 30 years old. We don't have time to be teaching. We are grown. We are grown. If you know what you want, get that. And if the person, whatever, doesn't match it, leave. That's it. There are so many humans. There's so many humans in the world. All of us are looking for our own thing that is going to kind of make us happy. We're going to have to adjust a little bit, probably, when we find the person that we're going to do it with. But I'm still optimistic. Because you only need one. Well, I guess unless you're poly. Unless you have different perspective. Based off of how I'm functioning, I only need one. I only need one person. There's so many people. So many people. I just need one. That's it. Just one. No big deal. One human. That'd be great. So anyway, I'm still kind of settling into what this little Hotel Yap situation is going to be like, but I guess the culmination of what I'm trying to say is, for our little relationship chat here, for whoever is listening, watching, be you a guy, girl, they, you can love someone so much. They can be wonderful. You guys can have fun together. There can be really awesome moments and caring moments and trips and plans and meeting of parents. All these wonderful things can happen. There can be so many of those lovely, lovely things. But if deep down you feel something is off, trust that gut, okay? I still don't have the end full proof of trusting the gut, but just trust the gut. It knows when something is a little off. It's telling you, hey, it's not loud, it's not the freaking out, it's not the panic, it's not the anxiety. It's the quiet little voice going, hey, something's a little imbalanced. Something's not quite plugged in. I think we need to do something else. That voice. Listen to it and do what's best for both of you. Don't you want to get the relationship and the person that you deserve, that you want, that you need? Yes. And maybe also you start to realize that you keep repeating patterns. Maybe that the pause means you need to take a second for yourself. You need to unplug from that and be like, hey, I need to get my self-love in order. I need to learn how to love myself wholly. That is a big part of this too. That's a big thing I'm running into. That's what I've been noticing with a lot of people, a lot of guys that I've been talking to. I'm like, I sometimes wonder if they fully love themselves. I'm working on being fully okay with me. I wonder where I'm at. I feel like I'm at like 85%. You know what I mean? I feel like, days are going to fluctuate. You're going to have, off days, on days, whatever. But I feel like I'm generally like 85% of the way to being like wholeheartedly comfortable with who I am, how I function, how I love, how I care for others, how I care for myself, and that whole balance. So just listen to that little voice. Sometimes it sucks, but sometimes love cannot overcome you not getting what you need in a relationship. And that's okay. I still love this person so much. And there were really, really cool things about him. And it could have been really cool if it would have worked out. But it just was not in the cards. I'm fine. We're fine. There's going to be plenty of episodes where I'm probably bawling on camera, which is going to be great. But I must take this little chicken pellet, my dog, on a walk. Last little walk before we sleep for real. And then I need to wash my face. I need to answer some emails. Oh my gosh, I still have so much work to do. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to Hotel Room Yap. Hopefully this, little reflection has been helpful in some capacity. You're doing great. It's going to be okay. Sometimes being alone is helpful. Being lonely is normal. And yeah, we're taking it step by step, day by day. And again, you're doing great. I'm doing great. We're all doing great. I'm starting to lose it. It's time to go to bed. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, how dare I almost forgot the book. Okay, let's see what the book has to give us today. Okay, let's see. Consider it an offering, a devotional act. We do the best as we see the best with our own taste. No one else's. That is a good note to end on. Night, guys.